Hello everyone, I'm Monica, and welcome back to another tutorial here at TaylorMade Cards for You. With football season being right around the corner, I was inspired to create this vintage football card using paper from 7gypsies. This paper stack is called Vintage Varsity. It's an 8x8 pad with double-sided paper that has football, golf, baseball, and basketball paper. It also has some wonderful ephemera that you can cut up and use for layering cards. Today we're going to be putting together a card that has several layers. I'm starting out with some resist paper, and I'm adding peeled paint using my blending tool. Resist paper comes in several designs, and this time I chose to use the polka dot paper. After I've added my ink, I like to take a paper towel or a soft cloth just to rub through to make sure that the dots are nice and white. Now when I'm layering cards, I don't necessarily like to line them up evenly. I like to put them at an angle because I think they make for a more interesting look. So when you do this, you want to make sure that your paper is a bit smaller than the layer before it. Now I also like to use this distressing tool. It frays the edges and it adds to the vintage look. After I've frayed the edges, I do like to come back and add walnut stain to the edges because again it will help to age the paper. Walnut stain is one of the first colors that I purchased in my distressed ink collection. It is a staple in my craft room and a must for creating vintage inspired cards. The 3 layers create the base of my card, and now the fun begins. This is where your card will come to life and you will add the overall theme of your card. This vintage football player is going to be the focal point of my card. The most time-consuming part of putting together a layered card is the planning stage. Choosing the right photos, the right ephemera, and the right designer paper takes time. I know when I started putting together layered cards, I felt a bit awkward in actually covering up some of my paper, but after a while I saw that it actually brought more focal point to the paper that you did leave showing. And that really is where the planning comes in when you're putting together these cards. You want to make sure that you're showing what you want to show and you're emphasizing parts of the paper that you want to emphasize. And that really is what pulls the card together. Now I also like to use washi tape because not only does it add another point of interest, but it does help to keep some of the layered paper in its place. Now the final phase of the card is my favorite part of putting together the card. It's where we get to add embellishments, stickers, and other fun points of interest. This is where you can personalize it by adding maybe a name or a trinket that might symbolize something, or in this case just adding a star to add to the all-star theme. These embellishments add great texture to the card and are truly what make each card unique. Once I had this card all put together, I sat back and I looked at it, and it reminded me of good times during my high school years, so I thought this sentiment was the perfect addition. I think that's why I enjoy creating vintage inspired cards, because it helps to bring back a moment in time. And it turns simple cards into keepsakes. Now I wanted to add just a bit more age to the card. So using my distress crayons, I outlined all of my ephemera, and then I rubbed it in using my collage medium. Now typically I do use the vintage collage medium, but since I was already using the dark brown crayons, I thought that the clear matte medium would work just fine. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed watching me put together this layered card, and that I've somehow inspired you to try one for yourself. I've provided links to all the products that I've used below, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.